Egypt's revolution in the making has entered its third week now, minus the shocking, fiery, bloody pictures from the streets of Cairo, and with much of the media summarizing the situation now as more calm and implicitly, therefore, less urgent. But this is the third week with protesters camped out by the thousands in Tahrir Square, refusing to leave until President Hosni Mubarak steps down. Sometimes it looks like a big Egyptian Woodstock, a big happy bee-in. One young couple posing for wedding photos in front of Egyptian tanks. Families yawning in front of tanks, exhausting work, this peaceful revolution thing. This guy actually curling himself into the caterpillar tread of a tank. Great place for a nap. In the very early days of the mass demonstrations, the Egyptian military announced that it would not fire on civilians, that it wouldn't use force to stop what they called, quote, our great people from overthrowing the government with peaceful resistance. And in some instances, it seemed even to be trying to help them, as we saw when we covered this live as it happened. A tank laying down smoke cover so protesters could get away from pro-Mubarak supporters who had trapped them in Tahrir Square. But away from the cameras, in some cases away from Tahrir Square, a more ominous picture of the Egyptian military is now emerging. A worker with Human Rights Watch reports hearing howls, presumably from people being tortured during a day-and-a-half-long military detention. Two reporters from the New York Times got delivered to secret police by the military. They then spent a night listening to what they described as dull whacks and screams of pain. The military, the same military that promised not to fire on our great people, is handing people over to the police, who apparently are taking care of things from there. And in some cases, we're hearing that the military are doing the dirty work themselves. At the beginning of our reporting on Egypt, we were fortunate to have Al Jazeera reporter Ayman Mohaldin on our show. Today, we spotted Ayman again telling Al Jazeera that a soldier had stopped him yesterday at the entrance to Tahrir Square. He identified himself as a journalist. Ayman identified himself as a journalist. He then was hauled off to a military detention center with other reporters and average protesters. He was blindfolded for a time. He was handcuffed. He was left for 5 hours on the ground to witness what the military was doing to the other Egyptians it had detained. Watch.
I can tell you from what I saw and from what I heard, a lot of these people were beaten up. The military was dealing with them in a very aggressive manner. They were slapped, they were kicked. The military was trying to essentially subdue them. I don't think it was a matter of trying to coerce them for information, but in essence, the military was dealing with these people as prisoners of war.
Signs that things may be taking a darker, more dug-in tone, and what that means for this revolution that has transfixed the whole world when we come back.